Ladies and gentlemen, there is something which I stated on this platform, that there was no way William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, was going to allow Juliana Cherera and the 3 rebel commissioners to take charge of Iebc when the term of Wafula Chebukati comes to an end. He was not going to allow that. Wafula Chebukati's term in office is coming to an end in January. There was no way Ruto was going to allow Juliana Cherera to stay as Iebc commissioner until January. And of course, the resignation of Juliana Cherera has serious political implication on both William Ruto and Raila Odinga. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis of Juliana Cherera's resignation. Because out of the 4 commissioners, I think 3 have now resigned. Nyagaya resigned. Wanderi even refused to appear before the parliamentary committee. Juliana Cherera has resigned. Irene Masit is likely to follow suit. And at the end of the day, a new commission is going to be formed. But what is the political implication of Juliana Cherera's resignation? Let's face it, if Raila Odinga were the President of the Republic of Kenya today, I'm sure Wafula Chebukati would have resigned long time ago. I'm sure Juliana Cherera would have presided over the 2027 election. That's something which I'm sure about. Of course, maybe Juliana Cherera might not have presided over that election because of 6-year term. I'm not so sure. But the truth is, Juliana Cherera would still be in office without any pressure of resignation. So which means there is something which forced Juliana Cherera to resign. If you ask me, I can give my theory that Juliana Cherera probably resigned because of pressure from William Ruto and the government. You know, William Ruto is keen on having a new Iebc in place. And to have a new Iebc, it means the 4 commissioners has to leave. Then the 3 commissioners whose term are coming to an end will also leave. So they'll have opportunity to appoint new 7 commissioners. So probably there's been pressure from William Ruto and his government for Cherera and the group to resign. In fact, at one point, Cherera was very clear that a cabinet secretary has been piling a lot of pressure on them to resign. Number 2, I'm also suspecting that maybe their lawyers advised them just to resign because they were going to fight a losing battle. The moment William Ruto was declared the President of the Republic of Kenya, that marked the end of Juliana Cherera and the group. They were not going to stay. So maybe their lawyers advised them, the best thing, resign. By resigning, maybe you'll get benefits, maybe you'll be pardoned. Because if you looked at the composition, the people who formed the tribunal, Muchelule, they are people of questionable character. So they were not going to get justice. So I think the lawyers advised them, the best thing, don't. And I'm also seeing external forces. Maybe they are under pressure from international community. Maybe the US, you never know. Maybe the church. Maybe there's just a group which is telling them the best thing you can do is to resign. But what is the political implication of the resignation? Let me go through the resignation letter first for us to understand. By the way, before we go that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, the best thing you can do is just to press that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And for those who are already subscribed, please give this particular video thumbs up. Now, let me just read for you the resignation letter, which is dated today. It was early in the morning, and it's addressed to His Excellency Honorable Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces through the head of the Public Service. Dear sir, resignation as a Commissioner and Vice Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. It is with immense woe that today I tender my resignation as Commissioner and Vice Chairperson of Iebc. Since joining the Commission, I have dispensed my duties diligently, meticulously, and put a spirited effort in helping the Commission deal with corporate governance issues under very difficult circumstances. As Vice Chairperson, I always advocated for fair treatment and equal opportunity for all staffs. So that paragraph alone tells you, from the tone, tells you that there are certain underlying issues which Cherera is talking about here, corporate governance issues under very difficult circumstances. You would expect that IBC has serious corporate governance policies, but Cherera is talking of under very difficult circumstances, which means there are issues which she was raising she could not achieve. And she's continuing. However, my cumulative actions done in good faith are unfortunately misjudged and misinterpreted. So she's claiming here that her actions, for example, to reject those results, were done in good faith. But according to her, they are being misjudged and misinterpreted. After careful consideration of the current events at the Commission and with consultation with my family and lawyers, I accept that my stay at the Commission is no longer tenable and therefore choose to vacate. So according to her, because of the family and lawyer, she's accepted to vacate the office, but she's adding something previously there, that after careful consideration of the current event at the Commission. So which means there's serious things happening currently at that particular Commission. Now, let me read for you the most interesting part of this statement. She's saying, I sincerely thank His Excellency, Honorable Dr. William Ruto, Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, for the opportunity accorded me to serve the Republic. God bless Kenya. Yours faithfully, Juliana Cherera. From this resignation letter, I can clearly tell that it was not written by her lawyers. The other thing I can say about this letter is that Juliana Cherera was given this letter to sign. The other thing I can see from this letter is that someone is out to thank Ruto for granting Cherera opportunity to serve. Ruto never granted Cherera the opportunity to serve. Cherera was elected as a commissioner under the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. If you look at this letter and you make a comparison to the letter by Nyagaya, then you'll agree with me that someone somewhere actually penned, I'm just trying to see if I can get that other letter. You will clearly tell that someone somewhere penned the letters. That is now something which is clear. The letter by Nyagaya and this one penned by someone else. They were just given the letters to sign. But we are in politics. What is the political significance of Juliana Cherera's resignation? Let us begin with the impact it will have on Raila Odinga's politics. You know, Raila Odinga had set dates for demonstration, not really demonstrations. He was calling them consultations with the people. The main reason for organizing those consultation with the people was over Cherera and the group. And it was very clear that he was going to defend Cherera and the group. Now, if the consultation meetings, which is now being branded as demonstrations, were about Cherera and the group, and Cherera has already resigned, what will be the motivation to go to the street? So if William Ruto decided to pile pressure on Cherera to resign as a strategy to thwart Raila Odinga's rallies, in my view, he has scored big time. So I don't think Raila Odinga will have good grounds to go ahead with the rallies. Of course, I know the battleground or the battlefront really is not about Cherera. It's about the formation of the new commissioners. But the rallies had been branded as if they were pro-Cherera and the group. And for those who've been following this channel, I was very clear that Raila Odinga was making a mistake of coming out to defend Cherera and the group, because Cherera and the group had already had their fate sealed. If I were Raila Odinga, I would have easily organized demos across the country using the cost of living. Cherera and the group failed to deliver, even to Raila Odinga, if they were Raila Odinga's people. So that's number one. Number two, let us look at the impact it will have on William Ruto's politics. The first impact, which is positive for Ruto, is that it has saved William Ruto from the wrath of Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Odinga had promised massive demonstrations, and those demonstrations were going to happen. Now that Cherera has resigned, I doubt if Raila Odinga will go ahead with the rallies. So William Ruto will be saved that. Number two, William Ruto has now effectively and effortlessly succeeded in removing the 4 rebel commissioners. And he has done it legally. You know, he's removing them forcefully, but following the procedure. So that next time, nobody can go to court and claim that Cherera and the group were removed from office illegally. The first step is normally to have Parliament recommend. Then you have the president forming the tribunal, which has done. The option is for the commissioners to resign. From those letters, the commissioners have decided to resign. So William Ruto has effectively removed them. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta could not remove Wafula Chebukati. And I remember just the other day, someone on this channel was asking me, Lee, if Ruto can remove Cherera and the group, what stopped Uhuru from removing Chebukati? And he was like, from that alone, he was convinced that Uhuru really never bothered about the 2022 election. So it has helped Ruto to do that. Number three, it's also going to help Ruto save the image of Wafula Chebukati. Because Wafula Chebukati, in the eyes of Ruto, is actually the hero of the last election. In the eyes of Raila Odinga and his supporters, is a conman, is basically the guy who has messed up elections in this country, not only once, but twice. But to Ruto, he is a savior. So which means Wafula Chebukati will now retire as a hero, having served his term. And just like I was telling you, Wafula Chebukati is going to be appointed by Ruto as a judge. And there's nothing you will do about it. That is the agreement they have. And lastly, on Ruto, it will also give the Ruto that legitimacy which he has been looking for. As long as Cherera and the group were there in the commission, so many Kenyans were like, okay. But now that they have resigned, it means Ruto can now claim that the 4 commissioners tried to frustrate his election. Now, let us look at the other impact, the tribunal. Why do you think they have decided to resign? For me, if you ask me, there was no justice Cherera and the group were going to get from that presidential tribunal. It was going to hang them. And again, they would have had the opportunity to give their views, what they know about the last election. Maybe they were going to implicate Wafula Chebukati, how certain things were done, you know. Probably they were going to do that. So right now, nobody will know what really happened in that election. What I don't know is whether there's a chance that the president can now really decide to refuse to accept their resignation. And of course, the 4 commissioners after resigning will all get their benefits in full. Nobody is going to stop them, which takes us to the last implication, the next battlefront. William Ruto is already focusing on 2027. One of the key players in that election is going to be the Iebc. We've seen the kind of appointment William Ruto is making. Personally, I will not be surprised the day William Ruto will appoint Baba Yao as the new chairperson of Iebc Commission. Raila Odinga is then going to focus on Iebc. For those who follow this channel, there's one thing which I've always stated that I will never forgive Raila for: failure to fight for electoral reforms when Uhuru was still the president. That was the best moment. But you see, Raila Odinga never thrives when he's in a comfort zone. He forgot everything. He forgot that Wafula Chebukati denied him the victory. He forgot that Wafula Chebukati had bones to chew with him. So we went into the 2022 election with Wafula Chebukati. Right now, Raila Odinga is trying to fight for electoral reforms, but with William Ruto as the president of the Republic of Kenya. William Ruto is not a non-reformer. He doesn't understand anything to do with the reforms. He's basically going to take the country back to Kanu era. So electoral reforms which Raila Odinga is fighting for right now, I am not even sure, if you ask me, whether he's going to succeed. William Ruto is going to do what he wants. The truth is, after removing these commissioners, William Ruto is going to appoint 7 electoral commissioners. All of them will be his people. Get that? None of them will come from Nyanza. If they are going to come from Nyanza, none of them will come from Lugulat because of fear. Let us wait and see how things are going to unfold moving forward. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.